Hello, Dr. Karen Can here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. This week's topic is around reconfiguring our relationships. So, have you noticed in your life that some of the relationship patterns and habits and maybe blocks have been coming up for resolution? Like things that you tolerated before between you and maybe a family member or a friend or a business partner or an employee or another employee has started to really grate on you, or that you're kind of tired of this pattern of holding back. Maybe you might even notice that sometimes you just want to blurt out what you're really thinking, which may be hurtful to the other person or could be perceived as being inconsiderate or hurtful or just downright mean. Okay, so this is not actually unusual. As the ascension process continues, we are expanding ourselves and at the same time cleansing ourselves of whatever no longer serves us in the 5D, the newly evolved human. And so there are a lot of habits and conditioned patterns that we've grown up with. I'll give you a few examples. Things like, be nice. Now, I know that sounds simple, and I know even people, because of this, whatever's going on in the world right now, are saying on Facebook, just be nice, right? But we can take that to kind of a degree that is not healthy. We can take it to a fake it, be nice, which is not necessarily healthy. Now, I'm not saying you suddenly turn into a monster and you're mean to everyone. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that in the new reality, in the new 5D world, we don't actually have room, if you will, for being inauthentic and for being phony and fake. And so what is happening with the people, and not just everybody, but like especially the sensitive people, is that we're able to feel even more intensely than before when we are being fake and phony and when other people are being fake and phony. And it could be just really mild. It just feels yucky to us. It feels intolerable. It feels like, at least for me, like I'm impatient with it, like I'm get the conversation over with, kind of thing. And so, what we are appreciating and growing into are these amazing, authentic relationships where we can tell the truth compassionately and from our perception without judging the other person or without necessarily making them wrong or making us feel guilty or whatever it is that our habits have been causing us to do. So, in addition to just be nice, some of the other patterns that we've been taught, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. Now, that does make sense, absolutely. However, sometimes people are looking for your opinion, and the way in which you couch your opinion can be important. So, yes, you could certainly be really authentic and honest and say, oh, well, I have nothing great to say or nothing positive to say, so I'm just not going to say anything, which in and of itself is a very evolved, relationship pattern if you're able to say it in the moment. I'm not sure I'm there yet, but, working on that. um, there are other times where you really want to shift the other person's perspective or maybe even beliefs around a topic or subject, which is something that can cause a lot of division, especially in the last 2, 3 years, right? And that can be really tricky to navigate because they may or may not be in the same resonance or uh, intellectual understanding that you are at. And when people are upset at other people for being, I don't know, like zombies, for being like unawakened, for being compliant, whatever, or being conspiracy theorists, or being crazy, or nuts, or over exaggerating, or whatever the judgment is. Sometimes you trying to teach the other person who actually doesn't want to be taught can really turn out badly. Like, yeah. So one needs to use discernment as to how and what to say, so that not just keeping the peace, because keeping the peace, sometimes people will swallow down their own feelings in order to try to pretend to be something they're not, or try to pretend they're okay with something that they're not. And that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about keeping the peace through betraying yourself. What we're talking about is you feeling peaceful in a relationship, even if the other person is reflecting things that don't resonate with you, or you used to do things with that person or for that other person where it really was an extension of your boundary and it wasn't actually appropriate, but because you did it before, you think you should do it again. You know, these are all opportunities for us to go, hang on a minute. I'm starting to feel resentful. Now you're saying this in your head. And then that's your signal to pause. And this is challenging for sensitive souls, because what happens is we love to help. We love to like support. We love to give, 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 give. Unfortunately, sometimes we give when it's not appropriate to give, and that prevents the other person from expanding and exploring their own gifts and their own, I can do it, you know, kind of thing. So we tend to rescue. Yeah, did a lot of that. And so these patterns really aren't serving us. And so in this 3D, 4D to 5D transition that we're going through, they're going to stick out like a sore thumb. And they're going to want to be reconfigured into a healthier, more peaceful state. And that means for us, the awareness that something is not quite harmonious here in this relationship, in this conversation. And it could be with family members, it could be with friends, it could be with bosses, whatever, right? So that pause can be really helpful. Now, they say that teachers teach what they have to learn. I definitely am working on this, so I'm certainly not an expert in this arena. I would love to be. It's much easier for me to coach and counsel and mentor my clients or students based on after the fact what we could have said, you know. But that's still a start. That's still a start, because these patterns often repeat themselves. So one of the things you can do is, if you've had a conflict or a conversation that did not go as well as you would like, right? If you can go into stillness and you can step back from that and rewrite the whole conversation like you would have wanted to say. So if you said something like, whoops, okay, that was not very nice, or, you know, that was really judgmental or whatever, you can go, okay, how would I say this if this happened again? How would I say this? And that can be really, really helpful. People have this misconception that we come out of the womb and we're supposed to be good at relationships. No, that's like saying, well, you come out of the womb, you should be able to do calculus. Okay, maybe that's not quite a great analogy, but you know, relationships and healthy relationships are trained, are learned, are practiced, are coached, are mentored. And you know, our parents learn from their parents, that learn from their parents, with all these imbalances, all these codependent patterns. And guess what? We get to inherit those things and copy those things. And until you wake up from that and go, wait a second, this isn't really working in my life, which is what this whole ascension process is really waking us up to in many ways. We then have a conscious choice to go, okay, well, if that didn't work, what is going to work? And that's when sometimes, reading certain relationship books or going to specific courses or having a coach or whatever it is, or healer, can be really, really helpful. Hopefully the person teaching it is a great example of the work that they're teaching, right? There's nothing, I guess, more annoying, I suppose, is that somebody who's supposedly a great teacher doesn't really practice what they preach or teach, right, in their own lives. That can be really upsetting sometimes. So this week in the Spiritual Medicine Digest Topicane Healing Activation, what I like to do is do a little mini healing around this topic of relationship patterns. So there is a blueprint, I call it a positive morphic field, that is the ideal energetic harmonious relationship between you and all other humans on the planet. So many of you already have this, so people listening to this already have this. However, some may not, so I definitely want to download the most evolved version of it. And so maybe you might notice a shift in your relationships. That being said, awareness is still the key. So when you get triggered, when you feel like put upon, when you feel resentful, those are your cues, like, okay, wait. Something is not working for me right now. Just because you did it last week or 2 years ago or whenever, and it was okay and tolerable then, it doesn't mean you have to be okay with it right now. People change, people evolve. So that pause and that awareness gives us the opportunity to really commit again, or to recommit to ourselves. In the book, The Four Agreements, which is very famous by Don Miguel Ruiz, he talks about one of the four agreements is be impeccable with your word. Now, I misunderstood, of course it was before I actually bought and read the book, but I misunderstood this to mean be honest and truthful. It does not. When I read the book, I was like, okay, I assumed, which is another agreement, don't make assumptions. I assumed what be impeccable with your word means based on what I thought impeccable meant. But in the Toltec wisdom, in his book, it means do not betray yourself. Do not betray yourself. Wow. Yeah. Mind blown. So that's why it's super important for us to really to step into that 5D. It's like people go, oh, I'm meditating, and oh, I'm doing all this healing and clearing work, and I'm working so hard on clearing myself. I'm doing all this clearing work, right? And the relationships are a complete disaster. The other person is just you reflected. So I am you reflected, you are me reflected, right? So we are all facets of the same one being having different perspectives. Now, does it mean that you have to be harmonious and get along with everybody on the planet? No, it does not. Honestly, I probably don't want to have lunch with Dr. Fauci. Like, him and I probably just do not resonate with each other. I don't have to be best friends with him. Can I love him as another being, another aspect of the one source? Absolutely. But I don't have to spend my day with him, right? So the same thing for you. You don't have to necessarily tolerate people, even if they're your family, where there isn't that resonance. But what if you could be fully authentic and learn and practice some of these words? Now, in my book, Sensitivity is Your Superpower, there is a chapter in the book called The Nirvana of No. So, and that is specifically talking about saying no and how to say no. As we mentioned some research in there, some ideas, as well as some other ideas, and you can make up your own scripts, and these can be super, super helpful for future opportunities. And how do you know you're going to have future opportunities? It's because you have current opportunities that didn't go as well. And so you can have another opportunity, you know, to just keep tweaking it. And we mentioned it before in a Spiritual Medicine Digest. I'm just letting you know that we are really doing major overhauls here on our relationship. So literally reconfiguring all these patterns and habits and, you know, things that really aren't serving us anymore. And the faster we get with the program, okay, and not resist this natural process that is happening, this ascension process, the more peaceful and more flow we'll have in our lives, all areas of our lives, really, even though today we're talking about human relationships. So that's a lot of food for thought, and would love to know, you know, what your perception and thoughts are, having heard this week's Spiritual Medicine Digest message from Source. So if you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification button so you don't miss a single video that I do, and would love your thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed a shift in your relationships happening? Have you noticed something that you used to be really, really, okay with it now is not okay with? How have you changed your languaging? Have you had healthier relationship boundaries? What does that look like? What is now working for you, and maybe help other people by putting that in the comments. Okay, so today's Topican Healing Activation, part 1, is going to download that positive morphic field of a healthy, harmonious relationship between you and all humans. And the second part is going to be kind of like a realignment between you and your soul to source, so getting you closer and closer, and then to your highest self to source, you to higher self or highest self, and then an alignment with you and your highest vision for your ideal future reality. And some of this work we do in Topican Level 1 in my Topican Level 1 training program. So those of the people that are watching that are level 1, they're like, this looks familiar. Yes, you've probably seen it before, but other people have not who are not in the program. So I'd like to do that mini healing today. So if you're ready to receive and would like to receive the Topican Healing Activation for today on reconfiguring relationships, what you can do if it's safe for you to do so is just close your eyes and go ahead, rub your hands together, get some heat going, and then relax, and then feel the energy and movement in your hands. Focus on it and follow the flow of that. And in this space, we are connecting to the 0-point field. I'll go ahead and say the Topican Healing Activation, and your job is just to notice what happens in your body as those frequencies download and activate. And if you don't want to receive, that's completely fine as well. It only works if it's for your highest and greatest good. Here we go. I now command that the positive morphic field and blueprint for harmonious relationships among all humans, the highest and most evolved version, be downloaded and activated in you in the highest and best way, all directions of time, with ease, speed, and grace in all timelines where you exist, where appropriate. Thank you. I now command that you and your soul be fully aligned with divine source, that your highest self and higher selves in all timelines combined be realigned with source 100%, and that you be fully aligned to your highest vision of your best ideal future in this and all other timelines in the highest and best way, all directions of time, with ease, speed, and grace. Thank you. So go ahead and just feel the body, feel the energy. Where is it going? I can actually feel some pulsing all the way down to my feet, which is pretty cool. I don't often feel lots of stuff in my feet, so I really like that. I think it's me being more grounded, which is awesome. Yeah, so again, I'd love to hear your comments. Post in the comments below. And if, like I said, if you're on YouTube or whatever platform you're on, go ahead and click subscribe and hit the notification button on YouTube so you can keep following along with these videos. So some announcements for this week. On Monday's Light Warrior radio show at 12 noon, I will have the pleasure of hosting the Ask the LifeWave Doctors show, which is the first Monday of each month, with Dr. Dennis Lobstein, my colleague, and we're going to be talking about Chinese medicine, acupuncture points, and how to use LifeWave phototherapy on these points to help improve symptoms, how to help your body and support your body to heal faster, whether that be pain relief, better sleep, anti-aging, wrinkle releasing, things repairing in the body faster, more strength, more endurance, more density of muscles, etc. So if you're interested, I'll post the link here near this video where you can just click the link at 12 noon Eastern to connect with us, as well as the link to the events page on Facebook where you can pre-populate the comments with your specific issues and symptoms, and we can create a protocol specific to you, at least the best that we can. And if you're live on the call, you can actually call in and raise your hand, and so we can talk with you a little bit more about what's going on, what symptoms you have, how, the different qualities of the symptoms. And Dr. Dennis is an expert in Asian medicine, so he'd be able to tell you which acupuncture points may be the best ones for you to use with these phototherapy patches. Guess what? It's like acupuncture without needles. It's super awesome. I love this stuff. Okay, so that's Monday at 12 noon. I want to do some cool stuff, new stuff, announcements. Last week, I recorded a video as part of the Healthy Habits, Healthy Life series on YouTube, and last week's was about block therapy. I know I've been talking about it for so long, and finally I made, what was it, like episode 29 or something? So I finally did it, and part of my reluctance of filming that one was because I was thinking, how do I demo this, but I found a much better way to communicate it. So check out that video about block therapy, and I think you'll easily see why it's one of my favorite healthy habits. The other thing I want to share with you is the first Tuesday of the month is coming up. So Tuesday, August 2nd at 11 a.m. is the monthly mini healings for August. Now, if you've been following me, you're like, what? I thought we just did a mini healing. Well, I had to reschedule the one in July. So August is coming up super fast. And so it's 11 a.m. And if you want to be part of the mini healings and to receive more healing, we do pretty much an hour of teaching and healing, absolutely free. You can go ahead and click the link below to register, and then you'll be automatically sent the Zoom link so you can get in on the mini healings, 11 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday. And the other thing I want to remind you, in case you're new to my channel, is that I built a light medicine community on an app called Circle. So we made an investment. It took us months to create and kind of tweak and test and all that kind of stuff. The light medicine community on Circle is now live, and it's a free community that you can come into. And I'm super excited about that because one of the reasons we built it was so we can speak freely. Yes. And there's another special area of there. It was called the Health Freedom Tribe, where we get into more spicy material, which normally would not be allowed on these platforms. And that's optional, that's a paid membership. But the rest of the community, the light medicine community is, free to use. I post a lot of stuff. You can post questions, any guidance you need, any support you need, any love you need, prayers you need. You can definitely post it there. So we, have a group on Facebook, but this group we hope to grow even further. Like I said, it's just so wonderful to be able to speak freely. It's so wonderful. So I'll put the link near this video as well. Be happy to see you in there. I hope to see you in there. And when you get in there and make an account, make sure you go to the welcome, introduce yourself, tell us where you're from. If you know your soul type, if you're an Earth Angel or Starseed, tell us that and what your goals are. And so we can start supporting you and, enveloping you in that love bubble is as part of that circle. So those are the announcements that are coming up. Oh yes, coming up. Yes, there's one more thing. This is a mark your calendar kind of thing. So Monday, August 22nd, we are going to open up the Ascension 3 jewelry store. Now, normally we do it once a month, but there's so much stuff happening behind the scenes that we felt it was best to delay our launch for the store because there's a lot of changes, a lot of things we're doing. And so Monday, August 22nd, 11 a.m. Eastern, we will relaunch and open the store again. And what you'll find is a lot of stuff is going to be on sale. Yes. Yeah, so we're clearing out some of the old inventory, some of the limited edition stuff. We're going to be in the future very picky about which pieces we have, and I think I kind of went overboard a little bit, maybe a lot, last year with trying this style and that style and all this kind of stuff, and it was super fun, but maybe not so fun for my staff, okay, because they actually have to fulfill all this stuff and put it in inventory and have charts and graphs and all this kind of stuff. And I realized that, okay, yeah, I'm making a ton of work for them. And it's hard for us to do other things. I'm mostly a teacher educator, right? Not a store owner. So I'm going to be perfectly honest. We have a lot of stuff that is going to be on sale. And yeah, we're clearing out some inventory. And in the future, we will have more limited inventory. So it won't be 100 things, it'll be very, very limited. And that will make it a lot more manageable for me and my staff. And although I'd love to, infuse everything with the positive frequency of Ascension 3, I think for practical reasons, I think I need to have a smaller store. So yes, so put that in your calendar, August 22nd at 11 a.m. because it's first come, first serve for all the sale items, and those are really popular and they go very quickly. So put it in your calendar, set an alarm, blah, blah, blah. And you can get on the newsletter at ascension3.net. So if you get on the newsletter, then you will be told first when the store opens in case you need that reminder. And you'll get first dibs on the stuff. And we do have, for those that have been following me for a while, who are looking for Ascension 3 pyramids. These are super popular as well. I believe we have 3 new styles of pyramids coming in, and I think we only have 10 of each. So it's not very many, and I would say if you're a pyramid person like I am, you really like these are super strong, super strong healing, then you want to get that on that Monday, okay, because I think they're going to go pretty quickly, the pyramids, as they normally do. All right, so thank you so much for joining me this week for the Spiritual Medicine Digest. I'll look forward to sharing more with you next week. And remember to subscribe and hit the notification button. And please comment, how did that clearing and healing feel to you? What happened in your body? Would love to hear. And lots of love to you. And take care. Bye for now.